Boots hit the dirt, no rest for the real. Steel spine straight, I'm a soldier, no chill. Snakes in the grass, they creep and conceal. 20/30 vision, better sharpen your steel. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies, let the darkness live. Echoes in the swamp, whispers in the wind. Legacy to build, can't let the devil win. Cash rules the weak, but my soul don't bend. 20/30 knocking, better cleanse that sin. They want us to sleep, but the light stays on. Fake smiles, fake friends, all of them gone. Cages of comfort, we breaking out strong. Roots in the south, but the fight's lifelong. We won't stop, I won't quit. Stand for the truth, no counterfeit. Real ones rise, let the fake ones split. Repent for the lies, let the darkness live. Prepare for the storm, skies turning gray. The wolves in the suit got dues to pay. From the ashes we climb, no time to delay. The real ones prepare for the judgment day. Yeah.
What is going on, ARP family, man? Appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I'm your host, Wise, man, and I really appreciate you guys pulling up. Really appreciate you guys pulling up, man. I hope all is well with you all. If you can hear me okay, if we're not, I want to make sure we're not having any technical difficulties right off the bat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. I did see that there might have been some sound issues or something like that going on. I hope all is well with you guys, man. God bless each and every one of you guys on this fine Thursday morning, Friday Eve, last day of the month. Y'all believe that we're 7 months in to this year of 2025? Do y'all believe that? Goodness gracious. Time is flying. Oh my goodness, man. It's just unbelievable, man. I know a lot of you guys, that have, either kids or grandkids. They about to start school, especially if you're down south. I think they start school maybe next week or in the next 2 weeks. I know down in Georgia, they start school next Monday. My little nephew is not ready. I talked to him yesterday. He's like, nah, I'm not ready, uncle. Some of you guys, man, are doing school clothes shopping for the kids or for the grandkids, for the nieces, for the nephews. It's here. It is here. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This is my favorite time of the year. Football season is approaching. Football season is approaching. My favorite time of the year. For those of you guys that don't know, y'all see the hat. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the hammer. Y'all see the hammer right there. I got two teams. I don't watch the NBA. I don't watch Major League Baseball. I don't watch the NHL. I get into a little bit of soccer, but I can't say that I'm diehard like that. But I'm about this football life, man. I'm about this football life, man. You don't grow up down south and not be about this football. And I grew up in the deep, dirty South, and we're about this football. High school, from youth up, youth football, high school football is big down south. What college football is huge down south, and the pro football is big. So y'all know I got two teams. You know, I rep the Ravens. I'm a Falcons fan as well. And I can have two teams because I don't have teams in other. I don't care about any of the other leagues. I want to see LJ8 in the Super Bowl this year, man. But one game at a time. And he said it right the other day. You know, they were talking about Super Bowls hitting that third, man. He just like, hey, man, we worry about week one. Let's get through training camp. You know what I'm saying? I like the attitude. I like the approach. But I hope y'all doing well this morning, man. I hope you guys are doing well, man. The weekend is close. Hey, I feel like the older I get, man, the quicker time flies by, right? The quicker time flies by. Hey, George, I'd love to see that. Philly, Baltimore, hey, right up the road. I'd love to see that. I would love to see that. Oh, man, that would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal. I would love to see that. I would love to see it, man. Let me show some love to my folks in the chat. I think the Hall of Fame game is today as well, if I'm not mistaken. I believe the Hall of Fame game is today. And then obviously the Hall of Fame ceremony over the weekend. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is today. Today's Thursday night. Yeah, I believe it is today. Shout out to Larry Montgomery pulling up this morning. Kevin Caldwell. What up, Zephyr K9? And I know I seen B up in the building as well. Shout out to my Blues. What up, Marla? How you doing this morning? What up, Lori Oddison? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. What's going on, Hunter? He's got our verse for the morning. Verse for the day, more or less. Let me toss him up in here. Is it two of them? Okay. It says, yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision or a husband's will, but born of God. Thank you very much, Hunter. And that's John chapter 1, verse 12 and 13. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you, Hunter. As always, getting the day started off properly. What's going on, Matt? How you doing this morning? What's up, Mark? How you doing this morning, brother? Hope all is well. Hey, man, y'all make sure y'all continue to keep Mark lifted up, man. I know he's getting some surgery here in the near future, man. Y'all make sure y'all keep him lifted up. What's up, Nelly? How you doing this morning? What up, Harold? Dagny Taggart, Donald Lovejoy. What up, Wilfred? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you guys. What up, Kenneth? How's it going? Hey, man, I'm still waiting on the link. When you get the first video shot, I want to see it. We got to critique it. Send it over to me. I'm still waiting on it. What's up with you, brother? What's going on, Toy Mafia? What's up, Angela Montgomery? Appreciate you pulling up this morning, sister. We got Amber Young in the house. What's going on? Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to Mike D Radio. Peace and blessings to you, brother, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Who else we got up in here? Voices for the voiceless. Is that Alma? Ooh, that's a hard one to pronounce. But I'm going to show you some love anyway. Thank you very much for pulling up. I can't pronounce the name. What up, Steve Berge? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Hope all is well. What up, Dion? How you doing this morning, sister? What's up, Leslie Aaron? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Hope all is well with you. What up, Billy W? Cool Ramon in the building. Shout out to you, brother. What's going on? Hey, y'all make sure y'all show George Santiago some love. This is first time in the chat, on the live stream. Y'all make sure y'all show him some love in there, man. What's up, Britton Davis? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Hope all is well. Thank you very much. Appreciate you pulling up, Deborah. How's it going this morning? Shout out to you. Who else we got up in here this morning? I want to make sure I don't miss too many people. What's up, Jerome Ferguson? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Shout out to you. Space is in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Abraxas in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. All right. You guys can hear me just fine. I'm glad to hear that. What up, Chester? Hey, YouTube's got to get these daggone handles back in order, man. Man, it's confusing me. What's up, Lauren? How you doing this morning? Appreciate you pulling up. Who else? We got Deanne. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Deanne Richardson. Hopefully I pronounced that properly. Sorry if I did. If I didn't. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. So what? Never give up. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. All right. So you guys can hear me just well. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, man. So we're going to get things kicked off, man. We got a lot to get into today. Leslie Aaron says, go Raven. I'm going to tailgating with the Falcons fan in my purple and black. I am going to the game. I'll be at that game opening day. Bucks, Falcons. I'll be down there. You know what I'm saying? So Leslie, if you see me, come say hi, come say what's up to me. if you see me down there. I will be at the game. I got my ticket already. We ready to go. What's up, Mike C? How you doing this morning, brother? Appreciate you pulling up. Hope all is well. All right. Let's do it. Yeah, so we got 60 likes, 132 people watching. Actually, we got 144 people. So let's make sure you guys hit that like button for me, man. Make sure you hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already. Super chat, super thanks would be greatly appreciated. You guys don't know what it means when you guys support the stream. It does a lot. One, obviously it helps boost. When you guys hit that like button, it helps, boost the stream and things of that nature into the algorithm. And I appreciate you guys supporting me. ARP family members, man, I appreciate you guys. All my ARP family members in the building, man. Shout out to you all, man. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Really appreciate you guys, man. And anybody that joins the ARP family or gifts an ARP family membership, man, I will make sure that you guys get acknowledged as well throughout the stream. What's going on, Southern Red? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Oh, you going to the Browns-Ravens games? I'm considering going to that one too, because that's opening day. I love going to opening day. It's always a good time. I'm trying to talk my guys in because we normally tailgate. We normally tailgate at every game, but things kind of changed a little bit this year. So I don't know how many Ravens games I'm gonna go to this year because things kind of changed a little bit. But I would love to go to the opening day. I'm still thinking about it. I'm not 100% sure. I hadn't got my ticket yet for that, but that's week 2. So we got a little bit of time. Make sure y'all show Judy. Is it Judah? Judah Tyler some love. This is first time live in the chat. Finally caught one. Y'all make sure y'all show her some love in the chat, man. Thank you for pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. What's up, Lauren? How you doing this morning? Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. What up, Scott Campbell? Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Salute to you as well. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. Y'all make sure y'all show these folks some love in the chat, man. We got a lot of new faces, man. New faces up in here, man. And I'm glad to see it, man. The channel, we're continuing to grow. Channels continuing to grow. Live stream continuing to grow. It's a blessing, to be able to do this on a day-to-day basis, man. And, to have you guys in here, man. Y'all know we hadn't been doing this that long. This live stream thing, it's new. This year, we're consistently, we are officially, I guess, 7 months in on the live stream. We're about 3.5, 4 months in on the morning show. And it's just continuing to grow. And it's a blessing. It really is. I don't take it for granted at all. We got a lot to get in. We got a lot to get into today. We're going to talk a little bit about Trump and the wins. We got to talk about Kamala Harris for a little bit. Y'all seen the thumbnail. Y'all seen the title. We're going to talk about the fraud going on down there in Florida. We got a good amount to get into today. So, hey, man, if y'all got your coffee. Hey, what's going on, Israel Pena? San Antonio in the building. What's up, Crystal? How you doing this morning, sister? Appreciate you pulling up. Looking forward to tomorrow's conversation. Hey, y'all make sure y'all pull up tomorrow. We got a great show tomorrow. Man. Good group of people that will pull up, man. Panel show. Just so y'all know, we're going to kick this thing off. I mean, it's been happening here and there, but officially on Fridays, man. Every Friday, man, we're gonna do panel show. We're gonna have guests on the show officially almost on a Friday to Friday basis. That is the plan moving forward. So pull up, man. It's gonna be a long one. Just so y'all know, when we do these panel shows, the things, man, they go to 2 to 3 hours. Just so you know. But it should be a really, really good conversation, man. We're gonna talk about a plethora of topics, man. Last week's was fire. I expect the same this week as well. So hit that like button for me, man. We're gonna get things kicked off. And without further ado, let go.
And basically starts the dumbest trade war in the history of this country. This is going to be about potentially millions of people losing their jobs. It's going to be about millions of people losing their savings, many of people losing their retirement security, and at the same time taking on even higher costs for everything they buy. So that's going to push us in potentially to foreclosures or people being pushed out of their apartments. I remember this from 2008. and how long it took us to dig our way out. And to this day, there are families, there are communities that still haven't recovered. Recessions can be all those fancy charts and graphs, but at the end of the day, people feel them one person at a time, and they can be devastating.
Thank you very much, Christy. Thank you very much, Christy, for supporting the channel. Appreciate you joining the ARP family, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. And shout out to George Santiago. Now, am I pronouncing that right? Is it George or is it Jorge? Let me know. With the dollar super sticker, man. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate the support. Definitely appreciate the support, man. So let's get into it. So y'all remember the chorus of doom and gloom. Y'all remember it, that broke out the moment that President Trump slapped the tariffs on China and the EU. Y'all remember that. Cable pundits, grandstanding senators practically fainted on air, warning that we were entering the dumbest trade war in American history. Their words, not mine. Y'all heard Pocahontas. Y'all heard her. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be disrespectful. I was about to go somewhere. I'm not going to go there right now. But these people did paint an apocalyptic scene. Millions out of work, retirements account wiped out, families evicted, a foreclosure crisis worse than 2008. They said it all. Doom and gloom, gaslit, scared, fear-mongered everybody. They had their charts, their somber tones, and their so-called expert consensus. But there was one problem with their forecast. Reality. Fast forward to this week's second quarter GDP report, and you guys got to see it for yourself. Don't listen to me. See it for yourself.
3% up 3%, better than expected. That would be the highest level since the third quarter of 24 when it was up 3.1%. On the consumption side, up 1.4, very close to estimates. Up 1.4 would be the best since the last quarter of 24.
So instead of the economic downturn that the doomsayers predicted, we got a solid 3% in annualized growth. 3% in annualized growth, half a point above Wall Street's already optimistic forecast. Consumer spending rose 1.4%, business investment picked up, and the GDP price index came in at 2%. Translation, strong growth and cooling inflation. Strong growth and cooling inflation. But what does the media do with all of this good news, all of this good information? They should be celebrating because America is winning right now. They should be celebrating. But what does mainstream media do? CNN immediately, they start nitpicking. Just compare the tone between Fox Business and CNN, and you'll see exactly what I mean. I want you guys to see this clip right here. Check this clip out right here.
The first read of the second quarter coming in at 3%. That is better than expected.
We have an economy growing at, what do you say, 3%? We have inflation at 2%. That's the best of both worlds.
Yes, it did rebound to an annualized rate of 3% during the second quarter. Even though headline GDP rebound, this economy has actually started to lose some momentum.
They just can't help themselves, man. For the life of me, I don't know why people are still watching these people, man. I had this conversation with my sister yesterday. I'm like, yo, you got to get your information from other sources. You got to get your information from other sources. I just had this conversation yesterday with my sister. You got to get your information from other sources because these people are going to lie to you. Their job is not to inform you with facts. Their job is to push propaganda that benefits the DNC. That's their job. You got to get your information from other sources. I just had this conversation yesterday with my sister. These people cannot help themselves. So what they're basically telling us is that, yeah, the surface numbers look good, but trust us, it's all smoke and mirrors. Trust them. Are you really serious? Who's trusting anything that CNN has to say? Their credibility is shot. Who's trusting anything, honestly, that comes from mainstream media? MSDNC, any of these, super left-leaning newspaper outlets? Who's trusting them? How can we trust these people when All y'all do is get it wrong. How? This kind of spin is exactly why so many Americans don't trust legacy media anymore. Instead of reporting on the genuine improvement, like the rising consumer confidence or stronger retail sales, they immediately try to discredit it. You'd think a healthier economy would be good news. It would be good news worth reporting, but not if it happens under Trump. If something good happens under Trump, no, it's an illusion, it's a mirage, which is exactly what Chuck Schumer called the GDP report. I mean, I'm really sick and tired of these people, man. I am really sick and tired of these people.
And while the Trump administration will try to wave rosy headlines about the Q2 number, today's GDP number is in fact a mirage because some ominous numbers lurk under the hood. Business investment plunged in the second quarter by 3.1%. The fact that business investment plunged so starkly is very troubling. It shows that already businesses are worried about growing their operations, worried about hiring more workers, worried about trading with their international partners, and worried in general about the future. And this number is another data point in a larger pattern. Donald Trump's tariffs are weighing down the U.S. economy, spiking costs for small businesses and families alike. And if Donald Trump keeps up the chaos, the dangers for the economy will continue to get worse.
Hey, Quincy, you are a nut, yo. I got to show that. According to CNN, you're possibly white, Wise. Hey, get out of here. You are a nut, dude. Goodness gracious. So Schumer is now all of a sudden panicking over a 3.1% dip in business investment, pretending it's some economic apocalypse. But quarter-to-quarter drops happen, especially when businesses are navigating new tariffs and trade policies. It's not doom. It's just smart strategy. Pause, reassess, adapt. Pause, reassess, adapt. But of course, Democrats and their media cheerleaders, they scream recession over one blip while ignoring the strong 3% growth and 2% inflation, which is solid. And then MSDNC, they roll out the same experts who said that inflation was transitory to tell us that this boom is somehow bad news. And now the latest spin, from these folks is Trump inherited a great economy from Biden. You can't make this stuff up, man. You cannot make this stuff up, man. Trump inherited a great economy from Joe Biden. You got to be kidding me. I can't believe these people say this stuff with a straight face, man.
Let's be clear, his doing.
Yeah.
He inherited a strong economy. It's his decisions that have led us to this moment. White House officials still publicly confident, publicly boasting, but there is, for the first time, some private anxiety about where this is going. We'll have more on that.
You can't make this stuff up, man. How do they get on TV and say this with a straight face? And why are people still listening to these folks? I promise you, y'all going to have some of your liberal family members, some of your liberal friends. They're going to come tell you, be like, hey, only reason why the economy is doing great is because Joe Biden gave them a good one. These people are ridiculous, man. I don't even know what you say to that. I don't know what you say to that. Does anyone actually really believe the economy had strength under Joe Biden? Does anybody really believe that? But this is why no one takes them seriously anymore. And they still don't get it. Even some, not all, but some in the mainstream media are turning against the Democrats and their messaging because it just doesn't hold water. CNBC chimed in recently, mocking the crap out of Democrats after the latest inflation and strong GDP report. They're starting to get some smoke. I think more and more people are starting to wake up that these people aren't here to, they're not real journalism. They're not here to really give you the facts. They're here solely with the sole purpose of pushing an agenda.
And people that don't like the president and don't want things to work. And like Senator Elizabeth Warren will come on and say, inflation's out of control and the economy is getting killed by what's happening by these tariffs. This 3% with the market at new highs, and really we haven't seen inflation, go up back to 3%. Maybe it will this week. Maybe we'll see it. But none of these horrible things have happened, but they still talk like it's happening. It's amazing.
Well, there's an important lesson there. Don't pick a congressman to be your money manager. That's what I would say. But in the end, Congress has their own reasons to point out certain things. And the Democrats, of course, as you pointed out, really don't want to see the current administration have some success. But there's no doubt that this is some success. We're seeing more horsepower. We're seeing better equities. Inflation really hasn't changed much in the last year or so.
The Democrats don't want to see the current administration have success. They don't. The Democrats don't want to see America have success under this administration. But there's no doubt that this is showing the nation going in the right direction. There are some real wins here. That says it all, man. That's all it is. We have a group of people that is praying for our downfall. We have a group of people that is praying for our downfall. They cannot, under any circumstances, give the president a victory. Not one. Because that would mean that they would have to admit that they were wrong. And I don't think it's within their ability to do something like that. Because here's the simple truth. Predictions of mass layoffs, 401k carnage, and supermarket sticker shock, it never actually materialized. Real wages are up. Inflation is down. Growth is steady. And that's what matters at the dinner tables, not the partisan, hand wringing in green rooms. And we haven't even felt the full force of Trump's trade architecture yet. You got to think about how much success, how much winning, how many campaign promises have been fulfilled already. We're not even a year through the administration. It feels like it because there's been so much. It feels like he's been in office at least a year, maybe two, with the amount of work that has and the amount of good that has been accomplished. But these people, man, they have zero interest in the country's success. They don't want it. They don't want to see it. And when these new reciprocal deals, are coming in and we're seeing the tariffs and we're seeing new revenue coming in that doesn't require taxing Americans into oblivion. And we got new money coming in through tariffs that's shrinking the deficit, reshoring supply chains, and laying a groundwork for a fourth quarter growth that could push past 4%. And then you got to factor in emerging technologies like crypto-based payment rails and AI-driven manufacturing areas. Areas in U.S. firms are dumping billions, into these, industries. And there's every reason to believe productivity will keep climbing without stoking price pressure. We're seeing it. We're in the beginning. Everybody thought that this man could get in, snap fingers, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, everything is going to be great. Doesn't work like that. 4 years of them, basically almost destroying the country. Prior to the shutdowns, people had money in their 401ks. They were flush. People had money in their savings account. People were not using credit cards the way that they're using today. We sit at $1 trillion in credit card debt right now because the previous administration, through them printing tons of money, lowered the value of the dollar. Prices went up on everything. Layoffs happened starting around 2020, 2021. You know what I'm saying? And they kept telling us that things are great. They were counting gig workers as full-time workers. If you take all the people that was driving Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, if you took those people out, you know what I'm saying, of being counted as the workforce, now our unemployment rate would have looked crazy. They juked the numbers. They juked the numbers. And mainstream media, instead of doing their job and being journalists and calling it out, they just went along with the play and then gaslit the nation, telling everybody that things is great. They're telling you it's great, but your money funny and your change is strange. They telling you things are great, but folks is like, hey, I got to make some life decisions. Am I buying food or am I paying this light bill? They're telling you that things are straight, but hey, I lost my job. I was one of those people that got laid off. I was one of the hundreds of thousands of people, probably upwards into millions of people that got laid off. I was one of those people. And I gotta watch politicians and mainstream media tell me that things are great. Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? I remember going to the grocery store and who was it? Yuck. Hey, eggs was crazy. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Since when? I'm like, eggs used to be super cheap. That could be there was a time. There was a time when I used to eat egg sandwiches a lot. You know what I'm saying? There was a time, man, hey, you could get a dozen of eggs, man. Hey, we eat, egg sandwiches. There was a time, man, we was, beans and cornbread. Just keeping it a buck. You know? Seriously. Thank you, Southern Red, for the $10 super chat. Says, for a cup of Java Wise, thank you for being a voice of reason in these crazy, evil days. Days that we're living in. And for being unapologetic, strong for Christ. Keep doing you. Stay blessed. Thank you very much, Southern Red. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Hey, eggs started to become a delicacy last year. Yeah, hey, you go over somebody's house and they got eggs in their fridge. They like, oh, you fancy. You can afford eggs? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, eggs was like eating caviar. You know? Hey, you're like, hey, man, we're going to have some eggs and bacon. You're like, oh, man, y'all rich. Like, are you kidding me? Come on now. And, you know, the president, he's got some sharp words. He's got some sharp words for the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. And honestly, I want to hear from you guys. Do you think he's wrong? Do you think the president is wrong, or do you think he, should just, kind of calm down, kind of hold off a little bit on this?
Way to go.
Yes, sir. So, President, are there things the chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates. Other than that, what can I tell you?
Oh, man. Shout out to Marla. Says, why is you on fire today? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I appreciate that. But what do y'all think about these interest rates, man? I would assume, I'm just saying, I would assume that interest rates are going to come down in the near future. And once that happens, oh man. Once that happens, I think we're really going to see things pick up. You're going to start to see more spending. You're going to start to see people start to buy houses. You're going to start to see people buy cars. You're going to start to see things. You're going to start to see companies say, hey, we can start investing now. Right? That would be it's going to be a good thing when that happens. But at the same time, I understand why the rates are high. I mean, we had, just borderline record numbers of inflation, record amounts of money being printed. So we got to get that. We got to get that in order. We don't want a Band-Aid fix. We actually want a real fix. Excuse me. So Powell's refusal to cut interest rates, despite clear data showing economic improvement, it could be frustrating for some. For me, to an extent, I understand holding off just a bit more. To an extent, I do understand it. But, Trump has pointed out before that every point hike cost the U.S. some $365 billion or something like that, somewhere in that range. And meanwhile, other countries, they've lowered their rates, over a dozen times, giving their economies a boost, while Powell keeps ours stuck. So, you got two Fed governors even dissented from the decision to keep rates unchanged, which is almost unheard of. Powell's forecasting has been somewhat off. Some would say way off. He predicted 1.4% in GDP growth, and we basically got double of that. And yet he holds the line, acting like nothing's changed. But the facts remain. The economy is performing. People are still spending, and these rate decisions are one of the last big hurdles for middle-class families trying to buy homes or refinance debt. So I'm looking forward to seeing these rates come down, because once that happens, man, when these rates come down, you're going to start to see some really, really good things. You're going to start to see some really, really good things. And I'm looking forward to it. So I want to keep moving on. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so. I'm not sure exactly where we are with the likes. Blues, make sure we're good to go with the likes. Again, super chat, super thanks, greatly appreciated. And thank you everybody that had joined the ARP family today, and shout out to all my ARP family members, man. I appreciate you guys. And let's move on to some genuinely good news, especially for our veterans. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but this is some really, really good news for our veterans. As you guys know, I'm a veteran. I know we got a multitude of people that watch the channel, that supports the channel, that are veterans. Some of you guys have family members, that are veterans. This right here is really positive. This is some real positive news for our vets. Check this out.
Estimated 61,000 American veterans are in danger of losing their homes, as you know. But thanks to this bill, the Department of Veterans Affairs will be empowered to pay loan holders the necessary amount to prevent foreclosures on our veterans, so our veterans won't be foreclosed and put out onto the streets. It's very important. This bill also creates a 5-year partial claim program that could benefit up to 3.7 million veterans. That's the kind of numbers you're talking about. It's big stuff. The costs of the program are fully offset and will add nothing at all to debt. This common sense legislation had overwhelming support and passed unanimously in the House and the Senate. Wow. When was the last time that happened? That's pretty impressive. My administration is committed to doing everything possible to ensure that our veterans are treated with respect and treated as well as anybody in this country. They're so important. They're so great. They've suffered so much in many cases.
All right, so here's the big news. President Trump just signed a major new VA bill aimed at preventing foreclosures for up to 3.7 million veterans. Under the previous Biden-era program called VASP or VASP, the government would actually buy out veteran mortgages, and that meant that taxpayers were left managing the loan over the long haul. By the VA's own estimates, the agency had already purchased over 170,000 home loans, totaling more than $5.4 billion. That model simply wasn't sustainable. So Trump's plan to take a smarter approach, and instead of replacing the loan, it lets veterans keep their original mortgages, which means they also get to keep their original interest rate, especially if they bought a home prior to the shutdowns. Y'all remember how those interest rates are. And a lot of people aren't selling their house right now because they don't want to lose that they don't want to lose that interest rate. There are people right now with interest rates 2s and 3s. Right now, they don't want to lose it. So this right here allows the vets the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to keep their original mortgage and maintain that interest rate. Any missed payments are pushed to the back end of the loan, no added interest, and no penalties. I mean, it's financially sound, and more importantly, it helps veterans stay in their home without putting extra strain on taxpayers. The bill had overwhelmingly bipartisan support, passing unanimously in both the House and the Senate. And now it's worth noting there was a gap. The VASP program ended on May 1st, And this new bill, it didn't kick in right away. And that means that some veterans may have slipped through the cracks during that time, but hopefully they'll be able to re-enter the system and get the help that they need under this new law. And the bottom line is this: this is a win for common sense, fiscal responsibility, and most of all, it's a win for our veterans. It's a win for our veterans, man. Again, helping us, America first, supporting the vets. And I love the idea of these people get to keep the original mortgage. They get to keep that original mortgage, which means they get to keep the original interest rate. Interest rates right now are crazy. So I love this, man. This is huge. You probably didn't hear this. You probably won't hear that on mainstream media. This is another win for U.S. citizens, people that served our nation. This is a win for them. This is huge. This is huge. But let's keep it going. I thought that was freaking awesome, man. So it was worth talking about. Next up, I want to talk about Kamala Harris. I want to talk about Kamala Harris. I like that. I like that, Glenn. He says, what up, Wise? I never met a broke person that could give me a job. What up, Wise? Looking forward, man. Thank you. Hey, I agree with that. I agree with that. And Diamond, I do agree with you there. Seniors need help as well. And there is some help on the way for them as well. It's coming, but I mean, this was a huge win for vets, man. It really was, or really is. It's a huge win. I love it, man. I love it. You know, so let's talk about Kamala Harris, who I'm sure you guys know. I'm sure a lot of y'all would just like to see her just go away, just go off into the sunset. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel that way. I feel that way. I really don't care to, hear the lady speak, but we got to talk about her real quick because she was expected to run for governor of California, and now she just announced that she will not be, in fact, running for that position there. She will not be running for that position there. And yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. So let's check that out, man. We're going to keep it going.
So former Vice President Kamala Harris will not run for California governor next year, leaving open the possibility that she could mount a third run for the White House in 2028. She said in a statement, over the last 6 months, I have spent time reflecting on this moment in our nation's history and the best way for me to continue fighting for the American people and advancing values and ideals I hold dear. I've given serious thought to asking the people of California for the privilege to serve as their governor. I love this state, its people, and its promise. It's my home. But after deep reflection, I've decided that I will not run for governor in this election. Patrick.
All right. So she has a craftily or carefully crafted statement that she wrote. And I'm sure she didn't write it. But, I digress here. Let me pull this up for you guys just so you can see it. It's probably better if I do it that way. All right. I want you guys to see that real fast. And so she says she had seriously considered asking Californians for the privilege to serve. But, after deep reflection, she basically decided to pass. She professed her love for the state, thanked supporters, and essentially claimed that she could serve the public outside of elected office. Think about what that means. Harris's name recognition, fundraising firepower, and the party pedigree froze the Democratic field for months. So nobody wanted to start dialing donors while Kamala hovered over the race like Shark Week. So I just don't think she's not as popular as I think as she thought she was. She's not as popular. And I think they do those, what do they call those things? They do those polls. Is that what that is? They do the polls and they try to figure out that, I don't have a chance here. So I don't think she wanted to embarrass herself. And I think that's why she's getting out of there. And, every ambitious Democrat in the state of California, they're free to phone up Silicon Valley, for their money and call in the favors. But, overnight, the campaign cash pipeline, it just unclogs, once she kind of steps out and gets out the way. And Harris's exit isn't just a California story. It's a career story. The woman who once was heralded as the future of the Democrat Party who climbed from San Francisco DA to California Attorney General to U.S. Senator to Vice President, and finally to a 2024 presidential nominee, is effectively stepping off the fast track. I mean, I don't think we've seen much like the ascent of Kamala Harris. But you remember in 2024, she did lose to President Donald Trump, despite being handed the nomination after President Biden bowed out not so gracefully. And pollsters now give her roughly the same chance of winning the 2028 White House as they give Trump of legally snagging an impossible third term, which is basically a goose egg. So I think she's cooked. What are y'all thoughts, man? Do y'all think Kamala Harris is done in politics? Y'all think she's cooked? Y'all think she's done in politics? She had a good run. But the funny part about all of this is that even her friends, they all saw this coming. Willie Brown said that he urged Kamala to think twice on running for governor. That's what Willie Brown said. And y'all know who Willie Brown is.
So, former Vice President Kamala Harris.
Wrong clip. Sorry about that.
May not want to run for governor of the state of California. That may not be where she should be going. I think it's going to be difficult for her to win that job. I think that the quality of some of the other people, and you have the lieutenant governor thinking about it, the president pro tem of the Senate out of San Diego at one time thinking about it, a woman who was controller thinking about it, Betty Yee. There is just the current superintendent of schools for the state of California thinking about it. There's just so many really talented people thinking about that job.
Well, sounds like she took old Willie's advice. He basically told her, nah, don't do it. Don't do it. And the funny thing is that Willie Brown seemed to gently nudge Kamala ever so gently into reconsidering her position on the VP ticket back in 2020, saying nicely that she'd be better off in the position where no one gives you orders. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see this particular clip. This is from back in the day, but I want you guys to see this. I want to pull this up for you. We're going back into the archives.
Brown, who once dated Harris, says he's excited a black woman is on a presidential ticket.
He also clarified some comments he wrote recently in his column that said running for vice president would end her career.
If you really want to make an immediate change in criminal reform, if you want an immediate change in diversity for representation purposes, you're better off if you have power where no one gives you orders.
Now, Brown is widely credited with helping to launch the senator's career.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to show you guys this clip from back in 2020 is that it really puts things into perspective. It's from Kamala's friend, someone who was not only close to her, but also reportedly her former lover. And in that moment, her friend essentially laid it out for her. You can create more positive change in a role where nobody gives you orders. Translation, a position like governor of California, where you're not under the direct command of the president, that make more sense. A lot of times, man, once you get the VP, if the next step isn't president, it's pretty much a wrap for you in the grand scheme of things. She almost would have been better off staying as a senator. You could be a senator for a lifetime. And, if you're in that governor role, if she would have gotten into that role back in the day, yeah, you still got to follow federal law, but essentially you're calling the shots for the state on a day-to-day basis. And, it's a powerful position. It's a powerful position to be in. And now fast forward to 2025, that same friend, Willie Brown, is now publicly telling Kamala not to run for governor. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It says that even her so-called friends have lost faith in her political viability. And to be fair, this doesn't necessarily mean that Kamala isn't eyeing a 2028 presidential run. But on the Republican side, Vice President J.D. Vance dominates early chatter. Polls show more than half of GOP voters would back him if Trump steps aside. Over on Team Blue, you've got Gavin Newsom, you got AOC, you got Pete Buttigieg, you got Governor Moore, you got Governor Shapiro. There's a multitude of people that are in the fray here, but those are some of the top people floating at the top right now. And while Harris trails behind in single digits, I just don't think she has the type of cachet that she thought she had. So if you're a Democratic donor looking for a candidate to invest in, I highly doubt that you're going to pour millions into Kamala's campaign when the Vegas odds have her basically politically dead on arrival. I just don't see it happening. And according to insiders, she's hearing exactly the same thing behind closed doors. So some analysts are floating the idea that she's skipping the governor's race to keep her powder dry for a presidential run. I'm not buying that either. I think she's cooked. I think she's cooked. Nobody who seriously thinks that they can win the White House turns down the governorship in California, in the bluest and most influential state in the union. I mean, that's a launching pad tailor-made for presidential hopefuls. And the only logical conclusion that I could come up with is that Kamala, and more importantly, the donor network, they don't believe that she can win even on her home turf. And if you can't win California as a native daughter, and how do you expect to win Michigan, Pennsylvania, or Wisconsin 4 years from now? And let's not forget how hard the media tried to sell her last year. I mean, they did everything to try to boost and put her up on that pedestal. And when Biden dropped out the race in 2024, the narrative, it pivoted overnight. You guys know it. And suddenly, Kamala was no longer the invisible VP. She was being hyped as the second coming of Barack Obama. She was the female version of Barack Obama. At least that's what they were telling folks. Oprah, Beyonce, Al Sharpton, all these, progressive icons lined up to crown her as the next heir to Obama's coalition. I mean, we saw how that turned out. Trump steamrolled her. And the Democrats woke up with a massive political hangover. So what we're left with is a resume filled with underachievement. Honestly, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to take that back. She overachieved. She wouldn't even be in the position that she was in. I don't think she would have been, had she not been a nice looking woman back in the 90s and jumped on the coattails, of a Willie Brown and some others. So in all actuality, she really overachieved, and as VP, she became the face of Biden's catastrophic border policy. She was the last person in the room when the Afghanistan withdrawal was greenlit. She cast the tie-breaking vote for a reckless spending spree that helped fuel the worst inflation in decades. And she burned through billions in the 2024 campaign only to suffer an electoral college blowout like no other. So what's next for Kamala, you ask? Private life. Think tank fellowships, corporate board seats, 100,000 speaking events, because there's still some idiots out there that would like to listen to her speak. Quincy said it wasn't coattails. I'm trying to be nice, Quincy. We're trying not to be vulgar here. This is a Christ-filled channel over here. We're trying to be nice, Quincy. Maybe she jumps into a lobbying gig. I don't know. She might even fantasize about maybe a future Supreme Court nomination. Lord, help us if that happens. But, she does check every identity box in one swing, if a Democratic president wants the optics. But short of that, the smartest move she could make is just to embrace the reality. She climbed higher than anyone with her skill set and approval numbers had any business of climbing. She should just go home, bow out gracefully, and preserve what little legacy she has and avoid the humiliation of another public defeat. I got a couple super chats I want to read, and we're going to keep things going with the last topic of the day. Give me a second here. All right, here we go. All right, Mike C says he actually gave her some good advice. stay in the legal field, she probably would have made it on the Supreme Court. Imagine that. Nah, we don't want to. That's what I'm saying. Lord help us if that was to happen. Shout out to thank you, Mike C, for the $5 super chat, man. Thank you very much. Shout out to Spaces with the $2 super chat. Says Pete, what's his last name? Y'all heard what I said. Samuel Guzman with the $10 super chat. He says, I want term limits on all our politicians. It seems that the longer they serve, the more corrupt and rich they become. If our Constitution imposes a term limit on POTUS, why not them also? You get no argument from me on that one, brother. That's something that I've been talking about for quite some time. I would love to see term limits, but I highly doubt it's going to happen because these people aren't going to vote themselves out of office. Are you kidding me? They're not going to vote themselves out of office. Although I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it. You know, we got something going on here in the chat. I want to make sure. I want to see if I catch it real quick. I missed it. I missed it. All right. So finally, down in the Sunshine State, we got to talk about it. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there's more fraud. Man, there's so much fraud going on right now, man. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of fraud that we have going on in our country, man. It is wild how much fraud we have going on in our nation. Be you a nut. Be wild. I'm about to show. Hey, I got to give you. I got to show. Be you wild. All righty. Last but not least, man, we got to talk about what's going on down there in the Sunshine State, man. You know, Polk County, Florida Sheriff Grady Judd. Hey, y'all know they don't play down in Florida, man. They do not play down there in Florida. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd and Attorney General James Youthmeyer have just dropped a bombshell. They busted a cross-country multi-million-dollar fraud ring that's been targeting seniors, stealing nearly $8.9 million from 235 victims nationwide. Think about that, man. Y'all stealing from the elderly. Stealing from the children and stealing from the elderly, you can't get much lower than that, man. $8.9 billion stole from 235 senior citizens. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous, man. But let's get into it.
That the investigations went on and we determined, my goodness, it's bigger and it's bigger and it's bigger. Ultimately, we served 18 search warrants with the help of and the direction of our statewide prosecutor. We also obtained subpoenas from several banks. And here's what we know. Let me give you the lineage, okay? This Antonio Penn, all right? He was the guy that was stealing the data from the M&T Bank, which is a bank group out of the Northeast United States. But his assignment at the bank didn't allow him access. He was a 5-year employee. So what did he do? He went to two of his associates, Barbara Frazee and Kamala Schaefer. Both of them had 35 plus years. And they were either giving him access to the bank data or giving him the code so that he could access the bank data. Then what he would do is once he obtained this data, and I'll go into detail of that later on, he would send it to, we call him Oki Akushi, and Oki Akushi then would put it online with Telegram. When it went online with Telegram, people from around the world would purchase this information, and then subsequently they could set up accounts. All of the people we're talking about today, other than the tellers that provided access, had multiple accounts, some of them up to 20 or 30 accounts. And then they would buy the data offline and steal from the people. So what did General Uthmeier's team stop with our detectives and FDLE's detectives and other law enforcement agencies? What we stopped was an $8.8 million fraud and theft ring. Then Rashodo Durant there, he would also buy data, and Hassan Phillips, Michael Navarez, and Kevin Clayton, wouldn't you know it, he's here illegally.
All right, let's break this down real quick. We're going to keep going. Give me 1 second here. It's not what I wanted to do here. Okay. So it's April 23. So this kicked off a little over 2 years ago. Synchrony Bank notices something strange. A brand new account just opened by a 27-year-old Michael Navarez out of Lakeland, Florida, suddenly receives a massive deposit of $250,000. But that money doesn't just sit there, it moves fast, like a game of financial hot potato. First, $25,000 is sent to Navarez's personal account at Suncoast Credit Union and quickly withdrawn in cash. Another $54,000 ends up in accounts tied to 26-year-old Rashodo Durant, also from Lakeland. Even $700 makes its way to an account linked to a 23-year-old Hassan Phillips in Maryland, and the rest it's scattered across other accounts connected to Navarez. So how did these people pull this off? The key players were 3 M&T Bank employees in Maryland. For those of you guys that aren't familiar with M&T, if I'm not mistaken, I believe M&T is headquartered right here in Maryland. And one of them that worked at the bank, Antonio Penn, didn't have the proper access to these accounts. But that didn't stop him. He convinced 2 veteran employees to log in for him. And while they did, Penn secretly took photos of account details and login credentials. He then sold that sensitive information through an encrypted app called Telegram. Penn's college football teammate from West Virginia acted as the middleman, flipping the stolen data to buyers and pocketing over $78,000 in the process. As for Penn, he walked away with at least $69,000. These guys thought that they were untouchable, hiding behind screens and burner accounts. But here's the worst part. These were not victimless crimes. They were targeting retirees. Hard-working Americans who spent their lives saving for the golden years. And wouldn't you know it, among the suspects, one of them was in the country illegally. So we got an illegal immigrant involved in these shenanigans. We got somebody that shouldn't even be here, allegedly helping to orchestrate the theft of millions of dollars from American citizens. Large majority of them are elderly. You can't make this stuff up, man. These are some vile individuals. You got to be a low down joker to steal from old people. To steal from senior citizens, you got to be low down, man. You got to be low down to do that, man. It's really ridiculous. It really is. But I want you guys to see this right here. Let me pull this back up.
Duh. And at the end of the day, the important part is that because of the great work of our detectives and the statewide prosecutor, this entire complicated ring was brought down. So we have focused from Missouri to the northeast to Maryland to Florida. There are still hundreds of suspects out there that are not in custody that we'd love to have in custody. So with that, I want to close with a statement about Telegram. This went from teller to Telegram. Telegram is a platform that is operated out of Dubai. The CEO, Pavel Durov, was arrested in 2024 by France because he was involved in criminal enterprises online. Up until that time, they would not release any subscriber data at all, but a simple arrest by France got them to start to cooperate. But they market online that there's end-to-end encryption, and they call it a secret chat feature. That's why all of this could take place. New York Times calls Telegram the playground of criminals. So you have Telegram and Telecrook, and now we're telling everybody there's Telejail in Polk County. So these Maryland, West Virginia, Missouri people went from...
Hey, that's a mess, man. Y'all stay off that Telegram, man. Y'all get any of these daggone messages and things of that nature. Y'all see these things, man. Y'all steer clear of Telegram. Don't do it. Now, I hope all of these folks get caught. There's hundreds of people still out there. This is a federal crime. These people are going to do, when they do get caught, they're going to do Fed time. That means 99% to the dough. They don't do parole and things of that nature. When you with the feds, you're going to do all your time. They don't play. But I want to talk about what these crooks are facing, because the charges are extremely serious. These are some serious charges, and these people are looking at some very heavy consequences. Antonio Penn, who is the ringleader, he got hit with racketeering, conspiracy to commit RICO, organized fraud, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, criminal use of personal identification information, and access to a computer without authorization. This guy here, he is looking at a sentence that would have him behind bars for decades. He's going to be, man, I would assume if they got him, they got him dead to rights. He's probably going to, he's definitely snitching. You can count on that. You know he's going to tell. You can count on the fact that he's telling. You know that. Akushi, who was the middleman, he faces racketeering, conspiracy to commit RICO, unlawful use of a two-way communication device, and criminal use of personal identification information. He also has past arrests for fraudulent use of credit cards, counterfeiting, and drug sales. It won't help his case. Barbara Frazee and it's Kamala, or I think it's Kamala Schaefer, the bank employees who unwittingly, they say unwittingly, we don't know yet, unwittingly, or not, help Penn. We don't really know if they did or did not know. They've also been charged with conspiracy to commit RICO and access to a computer without authorization. They telling. Whatever information they have, they telling. Michael Navarez, Rashado Durant, Hassan Phillips, and Kevin Clayton, they're all facing charges like grand theft, organized fraud, and criminal use of personal identification information. Durant, in particular, admitted to being a recruiter for 2 years. He's telling. He's telling. He was a recruiter for 2 years in this scheme. So everybody that he recruited, he telling. They all going down. He was forwarding stolen bank files to fraudsters. Y'all know he telling. I mean, these charges, they carry some stiff penalties, and they're all looking at significant federal prison time. But here's the thing, folks. This isn't just about the 8 that they've caught, because they caught 8 people. Investigators, they say that there are hundreds of more suspects out there. You can bet your bottom dollar that these 8 people, who else, everybody else all the people that they know in this scheme, they telling. They telling. There's no honor amongst thieves. You know they telling. So that means that there's still a web of crime out there. Still people preying on our seniors. Still scammers thinking that they can get away with it. And I hope they all get caught and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I mean, stealing from anybody is wrong, but stealing from older people and children, that's just low of the low. Seriously. Yeah, Dion, they call 8. Y'all already know what time it is. Them folks, they're going to tell. You already know. But that's all I have for you guys today, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Appreciate you guys pulling up this morning. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Again, like I said, tomorrow panel show, it's going to be great. We got Crystal from Crystal Beyond Labels. She'll be on. We got Tamara Neely from the Tamara Neely Show. She'll be on tomorrow. We got my guy AT. He'll be on tomorrow. We got my guy Jason from the Jay Witt podcast. He'll be on tomorrow. We got Minister Danzel. He'll be on tomorrow. It's gonna be a good show tomorrow. It's gonna be a good show tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Y'all already know it's gonna be longer. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be a longer show tomorrow. So just get ready. But it's gonna be good, and we're gonna talk about a lot of things. Appreciate you, Dr. Kyla. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you. Bringing Tamara on, man. This is gonna be her first time pulling up, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having her on, man. That's gonna be awesome, man. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show today, man. Hey, RJ said, he said 8-hour show? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it is probably gonna go 2.5, 3 hours. You can count on that, though. You can count on that, man. So I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, man. Hit that like button on the way out the door. Hit that like button on the way out the door. If you could. I do appreciate everybody that supported the channel financially today. Thank you guys very much, man. Appreciate you guys. And shout out to my ARP family members, man. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel financially. There is other ways, CashApp, buy me a coffee. There's some other ways to support the channel if you'd like to do so. See the description box below. It's down there below. So check that out, man. Appreciate you guys, man. And, thank you guys, man, very much, man. I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. As always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. Before I do that, let me show some love to my blues, man. Shout out to B. Shout out to Zephyr K9. I seen T.A. Caskey pull up today, man. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to all the blues, man, that keep things peaceful and civil in the chat, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you guys, man. And now we'll close it out, man. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. God bless you guys, man. Y'all have enjoyed the day, man. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Take care.
Life's the